So for the moment, let's get you some insight into certain personal finance questions. Harshvardhan Rungta is here with us. And the question, of course, is on the Married Women's Property Act. Harsh, tell us some important features of this act and how does it impact a family?
Well, Lata, the Married Women's Property Act was enacted with a view to protect the properties of women against the creditors that the husband or the business of the family has taken up on themselves. Now, the idea is this particular Married Women's Property Act, all the properties that belong to the women, get insulated and protected from all the other court attachments or any income tax department attachments that the husband has run up. Now, let's take an example of a business family. This could be a trader or manufacturer or any other business. In due course of business, there are some credit limits or there are bank loans which have been taken by the business. Now, the bank secures these credit limits against the assets of the business and also takes a personal guarantee of the owner of the business, which which could be the husband of the family. Now, in case of the untimely death of the husband, the bank starts recovering their loans, and in the process they liquidate the assets of the business and also they attach the properties that belong to the guarantor, which in this case is the husband. Now, in order to protect the assets of to protect the family, the wife and the children, the life insurance policies that one takes, he should make sure that these policies at the time of taking the policies should be taken under the MWP Act, the Married Women's Property Act. Because life insurance policies are also entitled to be attached, which means the claims that get paid out on the death of the husband go to the bank and not to the surviving members. So, the process of taking the policy under MWP is very simple. At the time of making an application, you have to fill in an MWP addendum. This form is also provided by life insurance companies. In the form, you have to fill in the details of your wife and or children, whomever you wish to make beneficiaries in the policy. Now, in case of death, the policy proceeds do not go to anybody else other than the beneficiaries as named by you in the policy. Okay. There is no attachment because the policy does not belong to the husband. Okay. Now, we talk about life insurance as a means of financial protection. Now, what is the sense if the money does not go to the family and gets attached for some other reasons? Now, let me just make a point here. All kind of life insurance policies, whether they are issued online term policies or any other form of life insurance policies, are entitled to be issued under MWP Act. And one should definitely, make a point that he issues a policy under this MWP Act to protect his family.
Okay, Harsh, very quickly, two questions. One, is the woman's, Stri Dhana only protected, what she inherits from her father's family, or is her own salary and investments earnings also protected? And secondly, therefore, if a husband were to default on his home loan, then the wife's salary cannot be attached when the house is foreclosed or a default is declared?
See, the first question, we're talking about a loan taken on the business which the husband runs, and he's given his personal guarantee towards those loans. Yeah. So all the attachment that we refer to are restricted only to the business and the assets of the husband. So in the first part of your question, the income that the wife is generating, if she is not given her personal guarantees and all the Stridhan that she's inherited from her parents, do not get attached in this case. The second part of your question is whether if you can just repeat that question.
Yeah, if the husband defaults on his home loan, then the wife's savings, investments, salaries are all safe. A home loan or any
absolutely,
loan.
Because if she is not a co-borrower in the loan, if she is not given any of her personal guarantees, then her property, her assets, her incomes cannot be attached just by the virtue of her being the wife of the person who's taken the loan.
Okay.
Now, in case of Married Women's Property Act,
is the converse true? If a wife were to default, the husband's property is safe?
No, not really. The property goes, see, even in this housing loan, let's take the example of a housing loan. The house is going to be attached by the bank, and they can ask the wife to vacate, and vice versa. Okay. The idea behind Married Women's Property Act is that life insurance proceeds are, the entitlement of life insurance proceeds is for the protection of the family, and in this case, the bank attaches it.
Fair enough.
So under MWP Act, they cannot do that.
What are the disadvantages of this policy? Because it doesn't see too much acceptance, or the sales etc. are not too good according to what I've read in reports. Are there any disadvantages?
No, not really, Sonia. I'll tell you actually the reason why this is not really popular is one, because people are not aware that this kind of a facility is available.
Okay.
Had one been aware of this, there is nobody whom I would know has a credit limit with a bank will not buy a policy under the MWP Act. What I'm referring is all the existing life insurance policy. It's not a different policy.
But
it's
an
just
existing
instead of a
policy
nominee,
cannot be.
You're making a trust.
Can I get an addendum to an existing life insurance policy?
No, actually this is a very common question that we get. This MWP addendum can be attached only at the time of taking the policy. However, answering your question, Lata, if you still want to protect, you have already missed the bus, and in case now you've realized that you want to protect your family against this, you can do an absolute assignment of the policy even today. After taking the policy, even if you're 5 years, 10 years down the policy, you make an absolute assignment of the policy in favor of your wife.
Okay.
So it does not anymore belong to you. It is not your property, so cannot be attached.
Okay, fine. We have a caller who joins in, so let's find out what her query is. Abha Sharma calls us from Navi Mumbai. Hi Abha, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm about 60, close to retirement, and I have about 8,000 rupees per month I would like to invest. So
Okay.
I just wanted to know how I should divide it or where I should put my money.
Do you have any investments currently?
Currently, I have a few FDs
Okay.
in the bank. Yeah.
So you're not invested in the equity markets and SIPs or anything?
No, not yet.
All right, Harsh. So 8,000 rupees per month is what she wants to invest, and only FDs in her portfolio currently. What would you recommend?
Well, Abha, what I would recommend is that, when let me just explain. When you start your career, there are a lot of changes in your finances and in your lifestyle. Now, we recommend at that point in time you go in for a comprehensive financial plan, so you can get a financial roadmap which you will follow for the rest of your life. Now, same kind of changes happen at the time of retirement. There are changes in your finances. Again, there is going to be change in your lifestyle. What I would strongly recommend is that you consult a financial planner, take a detailed financial plan, and then you take the entire picture in mind of your retirement, and then place this 8,000 rupees in that plan. At this juncture, I would suggest that you do not look at any investment in isolation. Don't look at 8,000 to be invested just by itself. Take the entire picture in mind and then place this 8,000 rupees and invest it with the full, the broader goal in mind. So I would refrain at this moment to give you any suggestion, not knowing other information that that is relevant to making investments. And I would recommend that you don't look at any investment in isolation right now. Drop a full financial plan and place the investment to fit into those goals and your requirements at that.
Okay.
Fair point. Thanks a lot, Harsh, and thanks a lot, Abha, for joining us with the question as well. And here's a word to you, viewers. If you have any personal finance queries, you can send us an SMS typing YM followed by a space and your question, and send it to us at 51818.